Hello, this is Denise Getz with my journal report for CIT 261. My experience in CIT 261 can be summed up into four phases. Phase one, getting started. Phase two, researching and learning topics. Phase three, completing topics. Phase four, final project. In the getting started phase, we needed to join a team. I had two friends that wanted to be in a team, and we just needed one other member. I asked a couple of people and only one responded, so that worked out just great. We met as a team as soon as possible and started splitting up the presentations and topics. We decided to do 2 topics a week, which would give us an extra week as a buffer. Now, there were a lot of questions regarding our team dynamics, so let's get started with that. Decisions were made as a team, and I would say that I acted mainly as the team lead in an administrative kind of way. I actively sought out team members for my team. I reminded everyone of meetings. I updated the meeting schedule, recorded and posted videos of the meetings. But we all worked together and helped each other with topics. The whole team did a great job on their presentations, which made it easier for all of us to learn, which that also can be considered as team members stepping up to lead and teach the team. We are fortunate that we had a team members that were active contributors. There wasn't anyone that wanted to just slide by, and I can imagine that would be a very frustrating situation, but honestly, the pace of this class would flush out a person like that, either forcing them to work harder or to quit the class. We really didn't have a communication problem as a team. We set up Slack and we could message one another at any time. So, phase two of the class for me was researching and learning all the topics, and I spent a ton of time searching the internet for information on topics. Google and YouTube became my best friends. Isn't it wonderful that we can Google anything? As I came across good resources for a topic, I would post them into our Slack Scrum channel for everyone to see. All the team members did the same thing, and we had a nice collection of resources to go on a given topic. In our weekly meetings, we would also share what we learned. We all have slightly different backgrounds and talents, which made it a very rich learning experience. Time seemed to be flying by. We were certainly glad that the due dates we set had extra padding in the end. This gave us time to catch up if we needed. And I like to be ahead of schedule, and I will continue to strive to do so because I don't like the feeling of falling behind. Phase three for me was completing the topics, which was one of the high points of the class. We knew we had another hurdle to conquer, but for the moment, we enjoyed that accomplishment. Phase four, starting the final project. Now, I know writers experience writer's block, but do website creators experience website block? Coming up with a good idea can be daunting. I needed inspiration and ideas. I had plans to create a website that had better resources for people to learn genealogy, but what design should I use? So naturally, I asked Google about website design and ideas, and look what popped up in the results, plus plenty more. Designing the layout, color, and content was nerve-wracking for me because I planned to use this website, so I wanted it to be good. I wondered, how am I going to balance all the requirements for the final project and still do something that I can actually publish? I wanted it to be simple, straightforward, and instructional. One of the low points for me during the class was struggling with the API choices that I had for a genealogy site. Initially, I found some interesting things on Family Search, but found out after spending many hours working with it that Family Search only supplies developers that they approve with an API key. These developers need to add value to Family Tree and not just request information. At this point, I knew I wasn't going to get a key. So I tried to find my past and my heritage and many other sites, and even some that required payment before attempting Google Maps API. Another low point happened while coding animations. I tried some complicated animations, and I found out that I really don't know how to convert jQuery into JavaScript quite yet. But much time was spent without results, and that can be frustrating. So the takeaways from the class. In the end, as a high point, I've created a great start to a genealogy website that I plan to keep adding onto. I hope the videos on the website will help beginners learn genealogy. Also, my team members have been awesome and I've made good friends. But that's not all. This class has taught me the value of being open minded, being willing to learn topics that I knew nothing about through my own research and hard work. I was willing to try as many APIs as I needed to get the one that works and actually fit the purpose. I was open to experimenting with animations, even if some didn't work. I was open to the ideas and suggestions of my team members and my teacher when solving problems. This class has taught me how to learn. The most valuable thing that CIT 261 and CIT 360 have taught me is that I can really teach myself with the aid of the internet. And while researching, we should always look for the most recent material and videos to avoid outdated material. Learning is an iterative process, and sometimes I would have to relearn the topics that I just learned like 4 or 5 weeks ago because I forgot the details. Another thing I learned is you should take note of credible creators and their expertise. Frequently, they would have a series on topics that I could refer to and learn more from. Another thing I learned was continued learning is always going to be necessary in this field because it's so rapidly changing. I have really enjoyed this class. I've really enjoyed working with my group, and thank you for watching.